How many of you have ever told yourself, I'll start tomorrow? And then tomorrow comes, and suddenly tomorrow needs its own tomorrow, which also needs a tomorrow, until you're living in an infinite loop of tomorrows while your bank account stays exactly the same. Yeah, we've all been there. Here's the thing about procrastination. It's the silent killer of wealth. While we're scrolling through Instagram looking at people living the life we want, reorganizing our room for the third time this month, or watching just one more YouTube video about how to make money online, someone else is out there actually doing the work, and they're getting paid for it. We'll spend 3 hours researching the perfect business idea instead of starting an imperfect one. We'll watch every video about drop shipping, crypto, real estate, or whatever the latest money-making trend is, and feel like we're being productive. But let's be honest, consuming content about making money is not the same as making money. Someone once spent an entire week watching videos about day trading. They learned the terminology, they understood the concepts, they felt ready, but they never opened a brokerage account. A year later, they were still watching videos, still learning, and still broke. Sound familiar? Let's talk about two friends who both wanted the same thing, financial freedom. Both were tired of living paycheck to paycheck. Both wanted the nice car, the nice apartment, the ability to travel, the freedom to quit their dead-end jobs. Friend A talked about it constantly. They had ideas, so many ideas. E-commerce store, affiliate marketing, freelancing, investing in stocks. They'd spend hours telling people about what they were going to do. They'd get excited, plan it all out, then nothing.
I'll start next month when I have more time.
I need to learn more first.
The timing isn't right yet.
Friend B didn't talk much, but they started. Their first attempt? A terrible freelance website that looked like it was made in 2005. Their first client paid them $50 for work that took 5 hours. That's $10 an hour, less than minimum wage. But they kept going, improved, raised their rates, got better clients. 5 years later, Friend A is still talking about their big plans and still struggling financially. Friend B is making 6 figures, working from anywhere, living the exact life both of them dreamed about. The difference wasn't talent, it wasn't luck, it wasn't connections. It was that Friend B started and Friend A didn't. Now, before we go any further, let's get real about something. Procrastination when you want to be wealthy isn't about laziness. It's about something much more dangerous. It's about fear disguised as perfectionism.
I can't start until I know everything.
I can't launch until it's perfect.
I can't invest until I've eliminated all risk.
Newsflash, you will never know everything. It will never be perfect. There will always be risk. But here's what's really happening. Deep down, there's a fear that if you actually try and it doesn't work, then you can't blame circumstances anymore. You can't say,
I could be rich if I wanted to.
You'd have to face the possibility that you tried and failed. So, instead, we stay comfortable in our procrastination, dreaming about wealth while doing nothing to achieve it. We scroll through social media, looking at people with money, feeling jealous, feeling motivated for about 15 minutes, and then back to the couch. The problem is, procrastination doesn't just delay wealth, it prevents it entirely. Because wealth isn't built in a day. It's built in the compound effect of hundreds of small actions repeated consistently over time. Every day spent procrastinating is a day that money isn't being made, skills aren't being developed, and opportunities aren't being seized. Let's do some brutal math. Imagine someone who wants to make an extra $50,000 a year. That seems like a lot, right? But break it down. That's about $4,200 a month, about $1,000 a week, about $140 a day. If someone had started a side hustle 2 years ago, even a mediocre one, and put in consistent work, they could be there by now, not dreaming about it, actually living it. But instead, they procrastinated. They waited for the right time. They waited to feel motivated. They waited until they had enough saved, or enough knowledge, or enough confidence. 2 years, 730 days. That's potentially $100,000 in earnings that evaporated because of "I'll start tomorrow." Now, imagine you're 80 years old, looking back, and you're thinking about what your life could have been if you just started when you first got the idea. The financial freedom you could have had, the experiences you could have afforded, the security you could have built, the generational wealth you could have created. And you realize the opportunity was always there. The time was always there. The only thing missing was action. That's the real cost of procrastination. It's not just about missing deadlines. It's about missing your entire financial potential. Here's the hard truth that nobody wants to hear. Tomorrow is a lie that keeps people poor.
I'll start that business tomorrow. I'll learn that high-income skill tomorrow. I'll start investing tomorrow. I'll apply for that better job tomorrow.
But tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow is always one day away, and while you're waiting for tomorrow, someone else is building wealth today. There's this myth that rich people are just lucky or were born into it, and sure, some were, but most wealthy people share one trait. They started before they felt ready. They took action when they were scared. They launched before it was perfect. They invested before they felt comfortable. They understood something crucial. The best time to build wealth was yesterday. The second best time is right now. Not tomorrow, now. So how do we actually stop procrastinating and start building the wealth we want? First, we need to kill the all or nothing mentality. You don't need to quit your job to start a business. You don't need $10,000 to start investing. You don't need to be an expert to start freelancing. Start with what you have. Got 2 hours after work? That's enough to start. Got $50 to invest? That's enough to start. Got one skill that someone might pay for? That's enough to start. The wealthiest people didn't start wealthy. They started small and stayed consistent. Second, we need to understand that learning more is often just procrastination in disguise. Yes, knowledge is valuable, but there's a point where research becomes an excuse. You don't need another course. You don't need to watch another video. You need to do the actual work. Make the offer, launch the product, send the pitch, apply for the opportunity, make the trade, create the content. Imperfect action beats perfect planning every single time. Third, we need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. That knot in your stomach when you think about starting, that voice saying you're not ready, that's fear. And fear is the bodyguard of your dreams. It only shows up when you're close to something that matters. Feel the fear, do it anyway. So here's the challenge, and it's non-negotiable if you actually want the life you keep dreaming about. Right now. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not when you feel motivated. Right now. Pick one action that could move you toward financial freedom. Just one. Not your entire business plan, not your whole investment strategy. One single action. If it's starting a business, spend 5 minutes researching business name availability. If it's freelancing, spend 10 minutes setting up a profile on Upwork or Fiverr. If it's investing, open a brokerage account. If it's a better job, update one line of your resume. If it's creating content, record a 1-minute video on your phone. If it's e-commerce, list one product to sell. One action, right now, before your brain talks you out of it. Because here's what happens when you take that first step. Momentum builds. The second step becomes easier, then the third, then the 10th, and before you know it, you're actually building something instead of just dreaming about it. Let's cut through all the noise and get to the raw truth. You want to be rich. That's okay. That's not shallow or greedy or wrong. Financial freedom is one of the most powerful forms of freedom there is. But here's the deal. Wanting it isn't enough. Dreaming about it isn't enough. Watching videos about it, reading about it, talking about it, none of that is enough. The only thing that builds wealth is action. Consistent, imperfect, sometimes uncomfortable action. And every moment you spend waiting for the right time, or the perfect plan, or the motivated feeling, is a moment someone else is out there building the exact life you want. You don't need more time. You don't need more money. You don't need more knowledge. You need to start. Stop researching, stop planning, stop waiting. Start. The 80-year-old version of you sitting in that chair, will they look back with regret at all the opportunities missed? Or will they look back with pride at the moment everything changed? That moment is now. You're not broke because you lack opportunity. You're broke because you keep choosing tomorrow over today. So choose differently. Start today, start now, start messy, start small, start scared. Just start. Your wealthy future self is depending on the decision you make in the next 5 minutes. Don't let them down.